Good evening to you from Southport, a town very much still reeling from yesterday's stabbing attack on young children at a summer holiday club. Today, police confirmed that a third girl had died from her injuries. And tonight, anger at that attack spilled over into violence, which the police have described as sickening, with people thought to be members of the English Defence League clashing with officers outside a mosque. We'll have more on that for you in just a moment. It's very much an ongoing situation here in Southport tonight. But first, yesterday's brutal stabbing attack.
The faces of three young girls who all went to dance and never came home. 6-year-old BB King, 7-year-old Elsie Stancombe, and 9-year-old Alice Aguiar. BB's family said no words could describe their devastation. Elsie's school called her loving and bright, a kind and caring friend. Alice's family said she would always be their princess. A number of other children and adults remain critically ill after what police called a ferocious attack minutes before the Taylor Swift-themed dance event was due to end. Leanne Lucas was one of the organisers of that event. She ran her own company, teaching children about their well-being through dance. She is one of those in hospital.
How many more children, Prime Minister? We're going to do something.
There was some heckling as the Prime Minister came to see the scene for himself, a reflection of the horror that has swept far beyond this community.
Today is not the time for politics. Today is the time to focus entirely on the families who are going through such pain and grief, and on the wider community, and of course a time to say thank you to those that responded yesterday in the most awful of circumstances.
And a response too from Taylor Swift herself. The horror of yesterday's attack, she wrote, washing over her continuously. These were just little kids at a dance class. I am at a complete loss for how to ever convey my sympathies to these families. A fundraiser set up by fans of the star has now raised hundreds of thousands of pounds. And from the community, the sympathy and the flowers keep on coming. The shock, the disbelief is palpable.
Like so many in this area, the people who've come to lay flowers and tributes say they simply can't fathom how something so awful could have happened on their doorstep. They say they feel a hopelessness, a powerlessness to do anything other than pay their tributes to those who were injured and those who were killed. We're learning more about the awful events of yesterday, including how the man who owned the building tried to stop the attacker. His wife told Sky News he saw the man with a child on the floor who tried to grab the knife but was himself stabbed. All he wanted to do, she said, was help that child, but he wasn't able to. There is so much for this community to process.
It is the hardest thing that hits children, the innocence and, the Taylor Swift connection, joy, happiness, laughter on the first day of the, real summer holidays, then going to the screams and the silence, that whole soundtrack of life yesterday.
A 17-year-old remains in custody on suspicion of murder and attempted murder. Sky News spoke to a former neighbour in Cardiff, where he was born, who said he was from a normal and lovely family, and his mother was a good mum. This is an attack that has left its mark on even those used to dealing with the most awful of scenes. We can only imagine how long the scars will last for those who never thought this sort of horror could happen where they call home. Greg Milam, Sky News, Southport.
Well, despite pleas from the Home Secretary for calm here in Southport, there has been violence on the streets of this town tonight. It started outside a mosque, not far from where tonight's vigil was held. Police clashing with protesters believed to be members of the EDL, the English Defence League. Police say that there has been online speculation about the identity of the suspect currently in custody, and some people are using it to engage in disorder. Officers repeated that the suspect was born in the UK and that any speculation was unhelpful. Sky's Charlotte Leeming has this report.
Disorder on the streets of Southport, with riot police deployed after violence erupted outside a mosque. Police vehicles were set alight and projectiles thrown at officers. The chaos coming just hours after the Home Secretary said communities must be given time to heal and that it's extremely important people don't share dangerous disinformation online. Tonight, Merseyside Police condemned the behaviour, saying it started when a large group of people, who some believe are supporters of the English Defence League, threw items at the mosque. In a statement, the force said it's sickening to see this happening within a community that has been devastated by the tragic loss of 3 lives. Earlier in the evening, the community came together in their hundreds, bound by shock, loss and grief. This was an outpouring of love and support. The turnout showed the scale of this tragedy. In front of a silent crowd, the Mayor of Sefton placed some flowers in the Town Hall gardens.
If anybody needs anything, they need to just cry out for us to help them. My background actually is child bereavement counsellor, so I know the effects it can have. The ripple effects last for years within all the family, all the community. So yeah, we have to be strong for each other.
After a minute's silence, people queued up to leave cards, flowers and soft toys, united in their mourning and still in shock at the devastating events in their hometown.
Your heart obviously just goes out to everyone that's involved in this, and I don't know, you hold yours a little bit tighter, don't you? You never want to be that person that's in that situation, what these poor families are going through at the moment, so we just wanted to come and show our respects, really.
It is really a caring place. People help each other, and I feel so many just wanted to come and be part of it.
This is what's going to get people through. This community support. I really believe that this right here now, what we're seeing, is what's going to get Southport through.
As this community navigates its future after such a major trauma, many say they'll get through it together. Charlotte Leeming, Sky News, Southport.
In the last few moments, the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, has released a statement about the rioting that's happening in Southport tonight. She says these disgraceful scenes of violence and disorder we are witnessing this evening, with attacks on the Merseyside Police and a local mosque, are completely appalling. The Home Secretary going on to say that those responsible will face the full force of the law. The community of Southport are reeling from a horrifying ordeal and families are grieving. This violent thuggery, which has overshadowed a peaceful vigil for little girls, is an insult to the community and to all those who need the space to process what has happened and to heal. That is the reaction of the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, tonight to the rioting we have seen unfolding on the streets of Southport. Let's speak to Sky Shingi Mararike, who is outside the mosque in the centre of the town tonight. We've been talking about the disorder. We have witnessed the scenes, Shingi. This is still very much a developing situation. What's happening where you are right now?
Well, SJ, I am about 150 metres down the road from that mosque where the rioting broke out, that focal point for that violence. And I can see a group of around 8 police officers, all with riot gear, riot shields held out as they block the entrance to the street down to the mosque. And beyond them, we can see a number of police vehicles. In fact, in the last few moments, we've seen 2 vehicles from Lancashire Constabulary coming in to support the team from Merseyside Police. To give you a sense of the scale of the disorder here tonight, you can hear above me a helicopter. That police helicopter has been over the streets of Southport for much of this evening. And in front of these police officers who I'm stood by, you can see rubble on the ground, the debris from what happened over the course of the night. We know that a police officer is thought to have suffered a broken nose. We know that a police van was set on fire. That fire has been put out, and it does feel like the situation is perhaps calming down. People have left the streets. It was easier to get back into the area just now, but there is a very visible, very obvious police presence. I can see sirens flashing. The helicopter is still overhead as these ugly scenes unfolded over on the streets of Southport tonight. Something that the police are dealing with as an active situation, but a situation that does seem to maybe be now slowing down and calming down a little. But as I say, a police officer has been injured in this disorder that has seen a police car also set on fire and projectiles thrown at a mosque in the heart of Southport.
Shingy, thank you. Merseyside Police putting this on social media a few moments ago. Officers who had completed a shift in work today are back on duty supporting colleagues in Southport. Mutual aid is being provided by officers from Greater Manchester Police, Lancashire Police, Cheshire Police and Police North West. We are all committed to keeping the people of Southport safe and preventing disorder.